Well, thank you for the invitation, and also thanks for the very generous introduction. So, of course, as you mentioned, my research interests are gene regulation, regulatory genomics. So, of course, it's important to do science, but also it's important to um, that how we do science. That's also very important. As there is no question about like early career researchers are the future of science. So the scientific and in academic enterprise must invest and also empower ECRs to improve science. Um, Science is more collaborative than ever before, and that requires all of us to make our findings public in order to lay the foundation for the next level of discovery. But the challenge for many of us is that science and the scientific publishing is a race rather than building it together. We are competing against one another. So whatever the way you look at science, speed, transparency, and openness are benefits for both science, sciences, and also society. So the faster new discoveries are made public, the faster they can contribute to new findings. But the traditional publishing system is slow, not transparent enough, and also not open enough. We use taxpayer money to do science and then review this research for free. Well, we review for journals for free, but of course we've been again use taxpayers money to review. And then we give our research to publisher to just to typesetting and generate a nice PDF, and then we buy it back from the publisher, and that's just ridiculous. Of course, there are some journals are open access and they charge crazy amount of APC, which doesn't make sense. And on top of that, many journals do not have strict rules to make research data and materials and code transparent and open. Part of the reason people like Professor Dedrick Staple can fake the research data and get away with it. Staple was one of the highly successful and well-known social psychologists who studied human behavior. His research published in some of the elite academic journals with data often too look to be perfect, but he was found guilty for faking data. Until now, 58 articles of his research articles have been retracted, including one of his famous study that was published in the journal Science. Anyway, he was fired, and several PhDs he supervised were affected. But the main question is why he do it at the first place. Because publish or perish is a well-known mantra to describe the pressure to publish research in order to succeed in an academic career. And part of the reason, again, science has reproducibility crisis, because the research method is not transparent enough, or the data is available on reasonable request, or code is available on reasonable request, or the data it was in a USP been deleted, or so many reasons. But there is a solution. The solution is open science. So open science is not only publishing open access, but also making material and methods available in a way that study can be easily reproduced. So you can make open reviews, open methodology, open source, and so on, open data. So Of course, open science is not only good for science. Open science is not only good for science, but it's equally good for society, and also good for scientists. So this is a typical or a simple research workflow. Although real research does not always follow this sequence, nevertheless, you can make this entire workflow open even before publishing your paper or posting a preprint right somewhere after writing. So you can do it, make it open using several resources which are available. So as a researcher, you have plenty of open options to do so through the workflow. For example, pre-registering. If you are doing a survey-based study or sharing your data to any of the resources or sharing your code on GitHub, or once at the publishing stage, before you submitting to a journal, you can post a preprint. So I will share some of information about preprints, what preprints are and what are the benefits. But again, preprints are not open science. They are component of open science. So if you post a preprint, that doesn't mean you are an open science enthusiast. So the traditional way, again, publishing is slow. So once you submit a manuscript to a journal, of course, you format to the journal specific format. It goes to the peer review. 3 peer reviews were not happy, and then you start your journal shopping to found your journal number 2, reformat it, and then submit it. Again, it was rejected, and you submit it to journal 3 after reformatting, and then this process takes months to years to get your research to the public. But if you post a preprint, which are fast, free, open, and format free, your research can be seen by the community in less than 24 hours. And there are more than 50 preprint servers. You can post it based on the research discipline you are in. And then you can get feedback on your preprint from the community. And then you can improve your research while you are also doing your journal shopping and stuff down here. Again, as I said, the formatting thing, which we did, we look at how much authors spend on reformatting. Turned to be millions of hours been spent on reformatting. So we propose a format-free initial submission policy to care about size than formatting. And many journals are adopting this. You can find lists of journals here. So back to the preprints, there are few concerns about preprints. The first one is fear of being scooped. And so fear of being scooped, I think it's by posting a preprint, you have a timestamp that you cannot be scooped and you can claim that you are the first. And the next one is, what about the journal policy? Many journals now accept preprints. You can see the list of journals in this resource, Sharper Remio. Preprints, of course, we all know in life science increasing, especially computational biology, and there are more than 50 preprint servers across disciplines. I think someone is in the waiting room. Okay. I think I'm the host as well. We already know the role of preprints during the COVID-19. More than 3,000 preprints were posted to bioRxiv, and more than 12,000 to the medRxiv. Many benefits of preprints: they are open access, you get visibility, and of course you can advance your career. You could get a collaboration, or you can journals can approach you to that we want to publish your paper, or you can get hired or get funding. Many funders now require preprints and also accept preprints. You can of course get community feedback and improve your research. So many journals now use preprints as a marketplace to go and find preprints and reach authors that they want to see the preprint in their journal. Even some journals have editorial, like preprint specific editorial bar. And there are preprint journal clubs, which are a good way to train ECRs to review preprints. You can send these to authors, or you could post to a review server, such as the pre-review that we did previously at Anthony's lab. It was useful exercise. There is another resource which is called by company apologists, called Prelights. This is again community of ECRs where they highlight their interest of preprints in their specific area, and then share, of course, with the authors and also with the community. So SF Bio, it's a biologist-driven nonprofit organization which works to make the communication faster, and also make faster and transparent, also open through preprints. There are several information resources available on the SF Bio websites. We have infographics in different languages. And also you can see the information about the licensing. It's very important how you license your work. It shows how open you are. And these infographics are in different languages. And SF Bio also has an ambassador program, which is a community of ECRs throughout the globe for promoting the preprint awareness. We are recently teaming up to increase the awareness of preprints in the global south. If you're interested, please reach out to the SF Bio team through the website here. And another community initiative was started by eLife. There was the eLife Community Ambassador Program to improve science by empowering ECRs. So, it was started in 2018. Hundreds of ECRs throughout the globe joined the program and started several initiatives to improve science. So I led the ECR Central initiative, and also I was contributed to the Inclusive Conferences initiative. So in the Inclusive Conferences initiative, we analyze more than 250 conferences and look at their features, and found that they're expensive, they're exclusive, and not environmentally sustainable. And we propose a key consideration to improve these conferences in a hybrid or fully virtual format, which is of course beneficial for all. So we posted a preprint. I think it was pre-pandemic, but it took a while to get it out. So you can find it, the published version as well. So another the resources I mentioned with through the eLife Ambassador program that I led was the ECR Central. So ECR Central, it's a central resource for ECR to find funding and also engage and so on. As we know that as scientists, we need funding, of course, to pay salaries or buy reagents and equipments and go to meetings, maybe after the pandemic. And of course, researchers spends most of the part of their significant amount of time actually on writing research grants, and for ECRs getting research grants, it's very challenging. Competition, limited mentoring, or the mobility rule restrictions over years since PhD. We found that there was no central resource where you can systematically search fundings and seek help. The search based on mobility rule or applicant country, host country, and year since PhD, and so on. So we created the ECR Central platform. Well, that was started at the beginning from an Excel sheet. So we created an Excel sheet, which was just a list of fundings. And then I turned that into an HTML page, and that was quite, got viral on Twitter. So I said, okay, let's make it more formal and then in a way more easily searchable, and also get the community involved and discuss and share experiences regarding funding, and of course to create an impact. So ECR Central is available ECR on ecrcentral.org. Well, you can also browse it on your mobile. It comes with the funding database and also travel grants, list of useful resources, and we are also launching soon a community forum. So the database is searchable, one of the largest, I would say, into my knowledge, funding database for early career researchers. So where you can search these fundings based on different filters: applicant country, host country, or academic requirements, subjects, and the call frequency, and so on. And this is an individual funding page looks like. Sorry. Here you have some related basic information about the applicant and host information, and more details about the award. And you can have a link to go to the main website. And we also have travel grants database. Of course, you can't travel right now, but once pandemic is over, you can find maybe travel grants. Some of these also offer virtual travel grants, so you could use that money for registration and so on. Again, you can do filter and search using different like career level or grant purpose and so on. This is again an individual travel grant page looks like. Some information about the travel grant, and you could click the official website and go there. And then the application deadline. So this is 3 times a year. Also some related one down here. The funders are curated. They are using the Crossref funder registry, so they are unique. And we also recently added if the funders are DORA signatory or not. So for this individual funder like Yambo, you could see it's a DORA signatory, and this is the DOI, which comes from the Crossref, and the fundings opportunities offered by, and the travel grants. We also have some useful resources for ECRs, from publishing to science communication. Even we have some COVID-related resources, and you can find those in the resource page. This is the backend with all this happens. It's a very powerful admin interface where to manage users, fundings, and all the resources. This is quite an old the global usage like a map. We have a great number of users from entire the globe except Greenland. Or of course, yeah, don't have here, so not Korea. Any yeah, so far 2,400 members joined the community. So and we are launching soon a community forum. We had previous basic community forum which we disconnected, but we are launching a community forum using the discourse, of course, to talk about general things about like mental health, from diversity and inclusion, or career related stuff, funding, research, science communication, and so on. So if you would like to be part of the initial launch, it will be invite based at the beginning. So we also have thoughts whether to make it public, and all the content will be public, so might end up having spam. So what I think, we are linking with org ID, so each user comes to the forum must have an org ID. So that's kind of limiting the spam. And for ECR Central, I mean, just sharing an experience, like at the beginning, we started a logo competition. So, so this logo that won the competition through, of course, public voting was by Annie Martin. She's a postdoc at the University of Oregon. So the submissions are on the GitHub. Last year, we did first virtual sprint to curate the funding database. Of course, some of the links goes offline or broken, and deadlines been updated, and so on. So we 7 of the ECR moderators joined this virtual sprint to curate the entire funding database. That was really great. Sorry, I should put it there. I'm here. So we are open source. So all the code and all the content is available on GitHub, and we're using open source technology. So the platform is built on PHP Laravel, and the database is MySQL. And yeah, you can get involved, of course. You can become our community moderator. You can improve and add new features to the portal if you have some programming skills in PHP and Laravel. And anyone can post funding, store grants, and resources. You don't need to even have a login to do that. And soon you could share your funding experience and be a mentor if you want a funding. So yeah, I would like to end this part of the talk by saying this African saying, which goes quite well with I think open science as well. If you want to go fast, go alone, and if you want to go far, go together. So some acknowledgements. Many people have been, of course, a key part of these resources, and the slides and a poster about ECRs and the stuff is available on 1000 Research. With that, I would say thank you and happy to take any question.